at Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor, when he comes into Ghana, who protects him? It's not national security. You know all the things Kevin Taylor says said against Akufo-Addo. You know all the things Kevin Taylor said against Akufo-Addo and his appointees. Yet when he comes into Ghana, it's JM's national security that gives him protection. Please, so this thing, let's stop blowing hot and cold. It tells you that people are not happy. Yes, I support JM.
Abusu mamenchia na memo akwa banfa wombra Randy J report so na ene lawyer Martin Kpebu wababonten edensembi ababetudwa kire se wono oye NDC ni mapa woye NDC ni people pa ya obia nim se yeka wono a wonom edi akotene e NDC amanyokuo ni mu a oyi ni si nkyene ya enyeye nanso so woye mranim ni eto de bia wogire nani han na wohwe nema hodo bia ekoso oman ni mu a otimi hu se na amanyokuo NDC nya ade se wo mo ni NPP amanyokuo ene Ghana fo di ni ye kura frese ase wo mo ye de mra no atonchen ena wo mo de wono mo ankasa atenka ena ede ebu oman no nti asemi bakura na se wo ye NPP ni ye kwan a aban no wana se oman ne court no befa so ni wadi no eye so nko sene se wo ye NDC ni nti se wono mo anhwe ni ye pa de a ede wo ye ni pa ena ebeba oman ne mo na num ho ya na se na wotwetwe mu ya ne babeda adwa se NPP amonyokuo wono ne Ghana de hye bia ti wo ho agumontene so a wono ye oyo kire ne nyina ne se aban no se de wabu nani agu nima bi so ya ka bima menka bia de bu oman no onfa nya adwuma kora nti wo motundi se democracy under attack ya wono ko ye oyo kire wa abontene nenso so hwe nipa mpempem ankoma wono mu di akire nenso so sebi ya ntise ba kumpo aka akoka bibi anase ba kumpo aka akoye bibi a ede oye ne abre oman no empenifo bebere kura babonti ba be kire mu se wo hwe sa demonstration o mu ye na it is the most peaceful demonstration a enipa dodo no adi akira ye nenso so ehu amasemu bia na owura lawyer Martin Kpebu ene wa babonti ba be kire mu se wo hwe de na monyoku NDC wono mo de ye MPP fo anase TikTokers a ene we koka bibi wa bonti a yesi ya che no we koyesi a yesi ya che no we koyesi a yesi ya che no pa no na chese wo mo ne Ghana fo ni ye free se wo hwe obi ti se Kevin Taylor ya wote America brochime mu a okoma NDC aban na wo hwe se de wasi edi na nado atempa ya wadi MPP fo atempa na enso so sebi won montu na mo bia se wo mo ba ba chi obi na enso so eduru wo mo so wo maban ba enko ade wo ye yesi achi na enso so Kevin Taylor ebrempa wo fira mo no ne ba be pie mu o Ghana ha o ba be yi ne din afiri court mpo no national security for ne bo ne ho ban abra munim se wakaka kan sembi ese nka court timi fira no man be yi ne ho ano ansa na wakọ na enso nam se wo koma amanyokuo ni ntino obi anka hwe owura Martin Kpebu kire se saa de ne de oka no kore se mranim ni a entwa yie e wo NDC sebi wo mu afem ne ye beka ya nanum ho ya na Martin Kpebu wo ye interview bi na interview no ye ne de wo kire se ne yemu hyehye no papa e wo kwan a wo no mfa so ene MPP fo die free se ebre bi na ka NDC fo mpo ni da so se wo metimi aba ba mu bio nanso so ebre ni duru ye Nyankopon bi e kwan ma Ghana fo ato aba ma wo mo saa na di adanse se enya de se MPP fo betina opposition afebo eye denia sebi ni betina ye pekora no a MPP fo be sa ba bam no mo hwede mo de ye MPP fo ya osuro wono Martin Kpebu ne de yem hyehye no fi se ya hweye na akina bi ekotane na MPP fo ba bam mu a omo NDC fo ha ye de bibedi wo mo papa nti wo yo fo nsa na wahwode ye ntie Martin Kpebu mbra na ye wia na ni interview ye ne waka akoye no so ye nyadaje TV wadaro ma message so bala ki video no share na wode wadwen kire so aba ye ntie Martin Kpebu mbra
se de ya bruso de ampa no kwende da ho e wo se ye ka ya bruso pa ya bruso nti wo se me dibe mu akotene pa nti wo se tansem we basa na o se me ka ne pepe because ya anya ni sa unse kwa na mafo ya ye ne ye keti Akufo-Addo ni se de ya bruso ya nhwe ya that MPP ba yeah no bechi o because say also almost say obeti say MPP fu bebre almost say omo ba ope bail and you just say ukoyi Jesus ba bail condition no for Jesus bra e bi so say just say ukoyi Lucifer ene ne ekeka nti sanse me enken di agro because see dey see na ama MPP ye de ni anhwe ya dachi omo ba ebe ya asema ma ya ye kan ebu aban we ne ne ekeka nti yenhwe na ne enye no ne akatra aban se enye because we cannot endanger our credibility so no kure wo mu no ti sa abronye di na ya abroso no kwe wo mu ni say excuse me Baba Amando Abubakar Yakubu Sunyan constituency NPP ono so chena ye ti ni free Sunyan de ne back ra long distance and so na e proso okay small girl na okay say ni banka President JM on Kpebu no and say ya busu ni bebre na ya busu yen ka no kwen de ta ho e wo se ka yes me to ma JM me to ma na me da ho support ni ben kire say bibia JM aban be no pepepe ana papa ebi wo ho na nya ono kra de bia oka o se uhu ni enya aka eno na hari na edrusu aka no nti kire say ye bo security agencies no kokota de bi omunya abutre adabraka because omuya manebro so we are all in danger that NPP ba yibinya asem
lawyer wadawrumo
pia wotrofo no se medanse no wabruchi me Martin Kpebu na yaka kotie nene no na ene waye interview bi wo TV3 afa de mu no ekoso no ene nsema hodo bi a wokane niam bi a wosusu se wono mu di NPP fo a wo hwe a entwa yie yenko na yenko hwe interview ne be
quick okay yeah so on the demo you see let's say this generally is their right to demonstrate, right? So as a lawyer, I cannot be held to say they shouldn't demonstrate. I mean, you know, the Constitution, Article 21 of the Constitution, freedom of assembly, etc. And we have a rich and long history of demonstrations. So it's okay. What they've done galvanizes their base, because if you look at the numbers, it's good, because you know that the way NDC has a super majority in parliament, 2/3, etc. It's good to have a strong opposition. So once NPP is beginning to come together in order to help us keep the government in check, we should be happy. Okay, that's in terms of the principle. The only part that detracts from what they're doing so far is the fact that when they were in government, we cautioned them, the bad governance, mampam, all those things. They didn't mind us, right? And then they led us into a ditch, bench borrowing, Oforiata and the president's family making money at our expense, etc. But unfortunately, we don't have any other strong opposition party. They are the strongest. So we are caught between a rock and a hard place. Okay? But because of the overarching need to be able to help keep government accountable and keep the NDC government on its toes, we are forced to, let the NPP brief and then gather themselves well. Because we can't say, because of all the bad things they did, then they should just go away. They can't talk at all. No, if we were to do that, this government may also get swollen-headed and may begin to do things that, of course, already people are even grumbling, which is normal, because no matter how this government treats us, it's always also important that people will continue to complain, because it's the complaints that act as the fuel. It's the complaint that acts as the oxygen to be able to cause the government to think harder and to improve our lot. Because all over the world, even the advanced countries, Norway, etc., where the living standards are far better, you still find citizens grumbling. So that is part of nature. You always need citizens to grumble, citizens to complain, so that it will move the government to do better. So for me, it's okay. It's okay. The only other point we should be mentioning is the barrage of insults. The listen, Afinyo Markins, you are nobody, and then Jantua, right? Not saying it negative. It was okay, but unfortunately, hours on, then Nanaya went to Asempa FM and now sought to reply. That one, to be very honest, it leaves a lot to be desired. I think that something has to be done. What Afinyo Markin said, you are nobody. It was similar to what Atu Forsen and Sabi Jemfi and Co did when they went to present their petition during the Kufuor regime. At that time, you know, the man they keep referring, let's correct this thing. The man they keep referring to as security man, he was a big man in the Air Force, and he was my mate in law school. So when we were even in law school, at that time, he was wing commander. Then after law school, more than 10 years, I'm sure he got several promotions. We can Google and see. I was a big man in the Air Force and a lawyer at that. But when he retired, then he got a job at the Bank of Ghana as head of security. But that's a senior military officer, Asare Boateng. He was my classmate in law school.
Right.
You see. And so the title, you just look at the title and said, so at that time, the NDC said it was disrespectful for Asare Boateng to come and receive the petition. And now, so if Avenue Markins comes to say, Nanaya is nobody, to be very candid with you, it's not an insult. Look, our democracy is stronger than this. I told you that in 1999, we sang Kum JJ Maye, Nyami Kum JJ Maye. And I'm telling you that song is older. We are not going back. Look, sometimes public discourse need to be caustic. That's how come JM himself called Ekufuado and Co. Achim Sakawa Mafia. That's why JM said, who arrested JM? So these things, I think government, the JM has to talk to his people that, listen, they need to develop a tough skin. With giving them positions, they are servants, they should serve well. They are not to lord it over us. So if Afenyo Markin say, you are nobody, I don't know how nobody is such an insult. We've moved on. Look, Rollins called Kufuor a thief. Yesterday I was just watching that video. Kufuor is a crook, he's a thief. I said, what did Kufuor as president do to Rollins? Why do we have public officers suddenly developing very thin skin? They listen, you are a nobody. What is an insult about nobody? Okay. Well, so that part, I think JM and his people, they need to sit by. I think to be fair,
that's your, that's your view. But then again, you grant Nanaya Jantua that right of how she feels about it.
Because no, but she's a public officer. It's not private feelings. I mean, she was standing in for the president. So throughout, she even said it, that she was representing the president. So you don't do well in receiving the petition. Then you go 2 hours later, she couldn't temporize. That's when her anger now came out. No, we can't. Remember, look, Anatete, you remember in 2015, Occupy Flagstaff House, when they went to, she did one small tweet, and see how Ghanaians punished NDC for it. So I think that, look, they should look at it. I think an apology will be in order. Let's remember the Anatete. Look, Ghanaians are very shrewd, though. Ghanaians are very savvy. Don't think that that's the end of this episode. Wait, in 2028, when they start playing it back, by then, there would have been a few other mistakes. When they put them together, NDC, they will win the election, but they will be in trouble. So I think that she has to come out and apologize. It's not about her feelings. We've put her in a public office. And in the Constitution, Article 1 says that sovereignty resides in the people of Ghana. So the people of Ghana are the masters. The public officer is not the boss. You are there to serve. So your master says something, you are not happy, there is a way you deal with it. Just remember the Hanatete tweet when Occupy Ghana went to serve during that demonstration. You see how coming to election they used it. So this particular Jantua video, that's not the end we've seen about it. So I think government should do a bit of damage control. She must come out and apologize for that speech that is unbecoming of a public officer. It cannot be accepted. When I call it, one sentence, you see, let's understand that I'm a private citizen. So I can come up and say, Kufuado, Mampam, etc. We want to hold him account. But the public officer, you are in the saddle. It's different. You can't reply in that way. The citizens, as the sovereign, can say certain things, trying to, right? So the citizens can say certain things and go overboard. But the public officer doesn't have that right of reply to insult back. Yours is to say, oh, my brother, stop this, etc. Give education. As long as you remain in that office. If you want to trade those barbs, then resign and come into private life. Then there can be a clash. But not whilst you are in that public office.
Right. Council, and on the want to me matter, I think you were drawing my attention. You wanted to make a quick input on that. Then we'll just move on.
Yeah, want to me, like Adam Senanu said, want to me's case actually it's not a good one for the demo because the facts have always been clear. We, like Adam Senanu said, we reported Wuntumi as far back as October 2022. That's the Tanon Nimiri Forest Galamsey. And so that's the case is now attending court. He was convicted on the Samra Boy Forest one. But now the second Galamsey case is attending court. That's the one myself, Adam Senanu, Kenashigbe, Kwame Sapoesedu, we reported him to CID. By that time, Andokofi CID boss and Dampare, through politics, they sat on the case and never took it to court. Then thank God we voted NDC in, and then now we are having justice. So if you look at Wuntumi, say how come, even apart from these two Galamsey cases, there were other cases, the Hansol case where AJ Frimpong, as trial judge, found out that they were doing Galamsey. There's another case in Takrade, Efia Nyako, Justice Efia Nyako, another case, Edua Mankwa Efia Nyako. Yeah. She also issues concerning Wuntumi's company, Hansol. Wuntumi lost. So there are two civil cases bordering on Galamsey, etc., that Wuntumi went to complain and lost. So this conviction is not his first brush with the law on Galamsey matters. So it's not a good case for the demonstration. But as I've said, no matter how, in order to keep NDC in check, we will need a strong opposition. But the other part of demonstration, which that one, they have something to say and we are supported, is the fact that for 1.5 years, this current administration has arrested more people on the matter of this free speech than Akufo-Addo's 8 years. It's a bad record. It's a bad record for JM. They should be careful. For 8 years, the number of people Akufo-Addo's administration arrested are not up to the number arrested in 1.5 years in JM's administration. That is a bad record. JM should pay attention. You see, these things, they start small. Before he discovers, all the goodwill will be gone. He should let people speak. Yes, they will say you are join, you are this. But we say Akufo-Addo is stone deaf. Mampam, did Akufo-Addo arrest me?
Which you were made to obviously withdraw, obviously.
No, but we continue
then again,
since
yes,
then.
but
and even Nana Yajantwa, she herself, she called the Akufo-Addo Nebuchadnezzar. So anytime we say Nebuchadnezzar, it's Nana Yajantwa who popularized Akufo-Addo as Nebuchadnezzar. Look, let me land one second. Allow Ghanaians to land. Let me tell you, in South Africa, there is this case, the Constitutional Court killed the Boer, meaning killed the white man. It went to court. The South African Constitutional Court held that kill the white man, that song, it's a liberation song. It's not a song meaning literally just go and kill white. So it's the equivalent of our Kum JJ Maya.
Need extra credits before payday or a loan to grow your hustle? Fido's got you. Let me show you how. With Fido, you can access personal credit.
Understand this, and very soon that song will be sung for he JM. Listen, this country is far stronger. It's a rich history. Let's understand that area very well. Not the listing, no, you go and arrest people. No, JJ himself called Kufuor a thief, a sitting president. Kufuor didn't arrest JJ. If you like, just Google it. Even Black Rasta played back that tape just recently. Just Google it. JJ called Kufuor a sitting president a thief. Kufuor didn't arrest JJ because he understands that there's a grievance. If you enter public office, you need a thick skin. And that's what Okoboy, Dr. Okoboy, former, is it Minister of Health or Deputy? Yes, he said it. When you enter public office, you need a thick skin. So please, JM, I think they should sit up. As for their insults, there's little you can do. It's part of the accountability thing. That's our own thing. It's not going to go away. So we better maybe have a conference, rethink, but you can't shut people down by their arrest. No.
There's a question Adam Sando was put. I'll come to you. He said if that's the kind of standard that we should be setting for the democracy that we are practicing, the fact that certain comments, although derogatory, should be normalized, and having a thick skin for derogatory remarks. Is that what we want to hold as a standard for our politics, for our democracy, Kpebu?
Obviously, no. Obviously, no. But you don't use we, the top people, as the only standard. We have a lot of our people, and even when you say the top people, who are the top? I just told you that Jantua herself, she said Ekufuado is Nebuchadnezzar. Somebody made a song, Ekufuado is Mampam. Ekufuado didn't arrest that person. I also kept repeating it. My Mampam friend is Adam Bona. He likes that word. And then other people. Mampam saying that Ekufuado is stone dead. JJ called Kufuor a thief, a certain president. That's even around the 2000s. So Kufuor didn't arrest JJ, etc. So that thing, we need to understand it well. It's easy to just come and sit there and say, that's not the standard. Yes, I also don't support it. But if you look at the groundswell, look at Kevin Taylor. Kevin Taylor, when he comes into Ghana, who protects him? It's not national security. You know all the things Kevin Taylor says, it said against Ekufuado. You know all the things Kevin Taylor said against Ekufuado and his appointees. Yet when he comes into Ghana, it's James National Security that gives him protection. Please, so this thing, let's stop blowing hot and cold. It tells you that people are not happy. Yes, I support JM. I supported him because Ekufuado couldn't do better. But it doesn't mean if he does some things that are wrong, I will not say it. Just for example, I've told him that no, this extension from 4 years to 5 years is not on. I don't need to insult him. But I'm saying that people in expressing the dissent, sometimes the insults come. It's not the best. But arresting people too is not the best. At the end of the day, you end up arresting the whole society. So let's sit back and see what we can do, because these things, they started, even Kwame Nkrumah met them. You read Kwame Nkrumah's books, people were booing him in the 60s and insulting him. So these things didn't start today. So if you don't understand the cultural context, if you don't understand the cultural context,
Council, right? This is probably not part of our culture. I don't think it is. I mean, insulting elders is not.
It's always been there. It's a lie. Anybody who tells you that it's never been. It's always been there. It's
been there, but also condemned. But because I see the line, I see the line that you draw in the fact that you don't support this action of insulting elders, whether it was then in the former President Ekufuado or now. But then it is the act of remedying that same action that you don't support, which you are against.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. So we can condemn those people. That's why I said we can have a national discussion. Let's agree on some modus, maybe naming and shaming, maybe only a fine. If we catch somebody, only a fine. But we should also be careful. Some of the things that are said to be insults, they've become part of our national discourse. We've accepted them. Like the one that you say, God, kill the president. That one is not going back.
That's where I have a bit of a difficulty. You see, we can't normalize. We can't normalize an abnormality.
It's been there for long. No. The South African Supreme Court has already shown you, kill the boa. It's a liberation song. So when we say, kum jeje mayen, kum Ekufuado mayen, and etc.
And that's why you even talk about, if you talk about culture, it's our way of life. What is may have been accepted in South Africa, you would not accept it here in Ghana.
Oh, okay. When we say culture,
it's the reference point that I'm looking at.
Reference point. You see, you should understand. I'm telling you that song is far older. It didn't start with JJ. I'm telling you that Kwame Nkrumah's time, etc. So let people haven't read. You just come when you're not happy with something. They say this one is not part of our culture. I'm telling you that this thing about how we talk to the presidents, you saw that it's older than even Kwame Nkrumah's time. It was part of the struggle for independence. It's there. Those were some of the things we used to drive out the colonial government. Those were parts. So please, when people haven't read, they should stop just coming. You just use your mind. This is not culture. You know how old those tools have been? They are far older. They were part of the struggle for independence. Part of the struggle. Kwesi Broni. Those were part of the things we used to get independence.
I want to make a quick comment on this quickly. Because
understand.